Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Cornix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game I played for a week and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Kirby's Dreamland for the Gameboy. It was released in Japan in 1992 and it's an action platformer, developed by HAL Laboratories and published by Nintendo. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. So this was my last pickup at Retro Gathering this year and it was a blind pickup, but I figured, you can't go wrong with Kirby. So before I talk about the game, I have to talk about the differences between the Japanese and the American versions. So I played the Japanese version. So the differences are like, there are some glitch sprite tiles in the cutscenes, and there's some different credits listed, and some different spellings here and there. So at the start of the game, you're prompted to a splash screen where lots of Kirbys are dancing around, and let's just face it, he's cute. So the first stage is the Green Greens, which is a staple of the Kirby games. I can't think of any Kirby game that doesn't have it at this point. So you start with 4 lives and Kirby can take up to 6 hits, I believe. And there's also a score involved, so you want to get the highest score as possible. So you can suck up enemies with the B button. And if you press the B button again, you spit them out as projectiles. So if you suck up an enemy and press down on the D-pad, you will eat the enemy. So Kirby can eat anything, he is a bottomless pit, I guess. So if you press the A button, you jump, and if you press up while jumping repeatedly, you fly. So I think you can fly infinite, but I'm not quite sure about that. So at the end of the stage, you will confront the first boss, which is just a tree that drops down apples at you. So Kirby suck them up and spit them back at him. And that's about it. So the second stage is Castle Low. There are a lot of lows in that that name. There's a reason for that. So you go through the castle and you fight Lolo. So there was this other game that I played, just called Lolo or Lolo 2. I can't remember which one of them I played, but it's a puzzle game. So you fight Lolo and Lala, the main characters of that game. So you suck up the bosses and you spit them back at them. And in this game, you will also recover some power-ups. There's this M-Tomato, and the first time I saw the M-Tomato was in Smash Bros. And it's an item that restores some health, if not all. And then you can pick up soda bottles. I think they are, soda bottles. And then those restore 1 hit point. And deeper in this stage, you will fight Lala and Lolo again. And when he defeats a boss, he will grab a star and do a little happy dance. So the third stage is the Float Island. And that's a funny cutscene where Kirby fishes up a fish and he gets the hook in his mouth when he tries to eat the fish. Before every stage, there is a cute little cutscene where Kirby does something silly. So you go through on a beach and you avoid coconuts that fall down, and you eventually lead up to a pirate ship where Kirby can eat something spicy and he can spit fire throughout his mouth for a short amount of time, making short work of the enemies. And you end up in a whale, like in the whale hole, I guess, and you get spit out. And Kirby flies away. So after this, Kirby ends up in a cloud where the game turns into a side-scrolling shooter where he shoots down a balloon with a cannon on it. So the stage that follows, this stage is stage 4, the bubble clouds. You go through the stage and you fight this eye that has orbs surrounding it. You have to hit it 3 times, and later in the stage you have to fight the same boss again, now upgraded, and it takes 6 hits. And I made a funny remark on my notes here while I said, so far this game isn't that hard, and after that I lost a life, so there's some irony to it, I guess. So the next stage is Mount Dedede. I think 3 Ds in that. So this is basically a boss rush. You have to fight all the bosses that you encounter so far, and this is where I got my first game over. But it wasn't that punishing because you start up at the beginning of the boss rush and you just go through it. So I just picked up the worst boss first, like the cloud, the eye with the orbs in it, and the rest of it was kind of easy. So after this battle, you have to fight King Dedede, still 3 Ds in there, and there's a boxing ring where he has a mallet. So you suck up the stars that he makes and you spit them back at him, and then roll credits. So gameplay, go through the stages and beat all the bosses, and later in the end, King Dedede. The story doesn't really matter that much. I think the king stole all the food and that's about it, but I'm not quite sure. Control, the A button jumps, and if you're while jumping, you can press up on the D-pad to fly, and the B button sucks, and if you suck something up with the B button and press down, you eat the enemy. And if you press start, the game pauses. And if you wait a bit, Kirby does this little animation kind of dance, which is obviously cute. Graphics. So I can't mention Kirby without Masahiro Sakurai, his creator. He was the guy that basically took Smash series to where it is today. But the game itself is very nice. The graphics are nice, cute, very polished, and it looks great on Game Boy. Sound and music. Yoon Ishikawa made the soundtrack for this game, and it's very hummable. It has that Game Boy chirp to it, which I like, and go listen to it. It's on YouTube, I think. Easter egg, secrets, and glitches. So this was kind of one of those crazy things that I knew about before picking up this game. But if you go on YouTube and search for Kirby commercials, even the American and the Japanese one, they're all crazy. For some reason, they just went nuts with it. There's like a pinball game where Kirby's basically the ball getting punched around inside the pinball machine. There's just so much crazy stuff. And in Kirby's earlier development, he was actually white because the American kind of corporates thought that Kirby was a little bit too cute if he was pink, so they decided to make him white. So a lot of the American cover art, so I believe the European is also him in just white, with white skin, I guess. But the Kirby we all know and love is actually pink from the beginning, and yeah, that's about it. So in conclusion, I wrote, yes, play it. It's super fun. So this game looks good, sounds good, and it makes me happy just to play it. It's very well polished, and yeah. The only negative thing I can say about the game is that it's very short, but it's a Game Boy game, and you can always play it again, I guess. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.